Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jayam Vishnupada Paramamsa Parashikshacharya Sasata Sri Mad A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jayam Vishnupada Paramamsa Parashikshacharya Sasata Sri Mad Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai. Natakoti Vaishnavinda Ki Jai. Namachari Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Pramse Kahu Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Veta Gadhar Sri Vasti Gaur Bhaktivinda Ki Jai. Sri Radha Krishna Gopina Shambhakun Radhakun Govindagana Ki Jai. Vrindadamba Dhamma Ki Jai. Mathura Dhamma Ki Jai. Navadvipa Dhamma Ki Jai. Jagannath Puri Dhamma Ki Jai. Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Tulsi Devi Ki Jai. Gangamaya Ki Jai. Gangamaya Ki Jai. Samveta Bhaktivinda Ki Jai. All glories assembled devotees. All glories assembled devotees. All glories assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga.
Namaste Narasimhaya. Jai Jagadish Hare. Jai Jagadish Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Lord Nishingadeva ki, Kala Miraj ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Janavalabha Girivardhari. Gopi Janavalabha Girivardhari. Yashoda Nandana Braja Janaranjana. Yashoda Nandana Braja Janaranjana. Yamunatira Vanachari. Yamunatira Vanachari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Janavalabha Girivardhari. Gopi Janavalabha Girivardhari. Yashoda Nandana Braja Janaranjana. Yashoda Nandana Braja Janaranjana. Yamunatira Vanachari. Yamunatira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Om Jnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamayam Dadati Svapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Uttaparakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitamscha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gorangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Suti Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Panchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So we are on chapter 3, verse 27. Go ahead and read the Sanskrit. Prakrte kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvashaha ahankara vidudatma kartaham iti manyate. Translation by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The bewildered spirit soul, under the influence of the three modes of material nature, thinks himself to be the doer of activities which are, in actuality, carried out by nature. Chapter 3, verse 27. Text 28. Tattvavitu mahabaho guna karma vibhagayaho guna guneshu vartanta iti matva nasajjate. Translation. One who is in knowledge of the absolute truth, O mighty arm, does not engage himself in the senses and sense gratification, knowing well the differences between work in devotion and work for fruitive results. Text 29. Prakrtir guna samudha sajante guna karmasu tanna krishna vido mandan krishna vinna vichalayat. Bewildered by the modes of material nature, the ignorant fully engage themselves in material activities and become attached, but the wise should not unsettle them, although these duties are inferior due to the performer's lack of knowledge. Text 30. Mai sarvani karmani sanyasyad yatma chetasa nirashir nirmamo bhutva yudyasva vigata dvaraha. Therefore, O Arjuna, surrendering all your works unto me, with mind intent on me, and without desire for gain, and free from egoism and lethargy, fight. Text 31. Ye me matam idam nityam anutishtanti manavaha shadhavanto nashuyanto muchante te karma bihi. One who executes his duties according to my injunctions and who follows this teaching faithfully without envy becomes free from the bondage of fruitive actions. Text 32. Ye tvetadabhyasuyanto nanutishtanti me matam sarva jnana vimudam stan vidhi nastan achetasaha. But those who, out of envy, disregard these teachings and do not practice them regularly are to be considered bereft of all knowledge, befooled, and doomed to ignorance and bondage. Text 33. Sadarsham chestate swasya prakrtir jnanavanapi prakritim yanti bhutani nigraha kim karishyati. Even a man of knowledge acts according to his own nature, for everyone follows his nature. What can repression accomplish? Text 34. Indriyasyendriyasyarte raga dvesau vyavastitau tayorna vasham agachet tau hyasya paripantinau. Attraction and repulsion for sense objects are felt by embodied beings, but one should not fall under the control of senses and sense objects because they are stumbling blocks on the path of self-realization. Text 35. Shreyan swadharmo viguna paradharmat swanustitat swadharme nidhanam shreya paradharmo bhayavaha. It is far better to discharge one's prescribed duties even though they may be faulty than another's duties. Destruction in the course of performing one's own duty is better than engaging in another's duties, for to follow another's path is dangerous. Text 36. Arjuna uvacha atakena prayuktoyam papam charati purushaha anicchanapi varshneya palad iva niyojitaha. Arjuna said, O descendant of Vrishni, by what is one impelled to sinful acts, even unwillingly, as if engaged by force? Text 37. Shri Bhagavan uvacha Kama esha krodha esha rago guna samudbhavaha mahashano mahapapma vidyenam ihavairinam. The Blessed Lord said, it is lust only, Arjuna, which is born of contact with the material modes of passion and later transformed into wrath, and which is the all-devouring sinful enemy of this world. Text 38. Du men navriyate vanir yathadarsho malena cha yathol ben navrito garbhas tata tenedam avritam. Translation: as fire is covered by smoke, as a mirror is covered by dust, or as the embryo is covered by the womb, similarly the living entity is covered by different degrees of this lust. So we'll go back to text 27. Translation: a bewildered spirit soul under the influence of the three modes of material nature thinks himself to be the doer of activities which are in actuality carried out by nature. Purport: two persons, one in Krishna consciousness and the other in material consciousness, working on the same level, may appear to be working on the same platform, but there is a wide gulf of difference in their respective positions. The person in material consciousness is convinced by false ego that he is the doer of everything. He does not know that the mechanism of the body is produced by material nature, which works under the supervision of the Supreme Lord. The materialistic person has no knowledge that ultimately he is under the control of Krishna. The person in false ego takes all credit for doing everything independently, and that is the symptom of his nescience. He does not know that this gross and subtle body is the creation of material nature, under the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and as such his bodily and mental activities should be engaged in the service of Krishna and Krishna consciousness. The ignorant man forgets that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is known as Hrishikesha, or the master of the senses of the material body. For due to his long misuse of the senses and sense gratification, he is factually bewildered by the false ego, which makes him forget his eternal relationship with Krishna. So we're bewildered that we're the doer of activities, when in reality, everything we're doing is we're either serving the modes or we're serving Krishna. So when we're in the modes, we're thinking that these activities, which are really the result of Sattvagun, Rajagun, or Tamagun, we identify them with them. That I'm making these decisions. I'm not influenced by something else. This is all my choice, and I'm the reason I'm successful, and I'm attractive because this body's attractive, or I'm ugly because this body's ugly. But we're not this body, and ultimately this body and everything that we have is owned by Krishna. So because we are forgetful of our constitutional position as Krishna's servant, we try to lord it over the material nature and use this body for our own sense enjoyment, which is not very effective because we are the part to the whole. So the example is given over and over again that if the hand tries to consume the food, it doesn't work so good. Whereas if the hand passes along food to the mouth and down to the stomach, then the whole body is satisfied. So then the hand can actually benefit from that action. So similarly, if we are serving Krishna, then that's the most effective way to achieve our desires, with the highest desire being just to serve. I was hearing Srila Prabhupada was talking about a famine in Bengal. I think the year was 1942. And he was saying that so many people starved back then. But he went around and he asked a number of devotees if they had everything they needed, and they said, yeah. And he was using this to make the point that Krishna always takes care of his devotees. He always gives us what we need. So it's better for us to put our faith in Krishna than my employer or my bank account or my super expensive car. It's going to last for a really long time. These are really just gambling. I have no factual reason to believe any of these things last more than a day. Whereas Krishna always gives us whatever we need. So we can go on to the next verse. One who is in knowledge of the absolute truth, O mighty arm, does not engage himself in the senses and sense gratification, knowing well the differences between work and devotion and work for fruitive results. Purport. The knower of the absolute truth is convinced of his awkward position in material association. He knows that he is part and parcel of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, and that his position should not be in the material creation. He knows his real identity is part and parcel of the Supreme, who is eternal bliss and knowledge, and he realizes that somehow or other he is entrapped in the material conception of life. In his pure state of existence, he is meant to dovetail his activities in devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. He therefore engages himself in the activities of Krishna consciousness and becomes naturally unattached to the activities of the material senses, which are all circumstantial and temporary. He knows that his material condition of life is under the supreme control of the Lord. Consequently, he is not disturbed by all kinds of material reactions, which he considers to be the mercy of the Lord. According to Srimad Bhagavatam, one who knows the absolute truth in three different features, namely Brahman, Paramatma, and the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is called Tattvavit, for he knows also his own factual position in relationship with the Supreme. So it says that excuse me. It becomes naturally unattached to the activities of the material senses, which are all circumstantial and temporary. And that he's not disturbed by all kinds of material reactions, which he considers to be the mercy of the Lord. So whatever good and bad things happen to us, it's kind of like the parent in a loving mood sometimes, blesses the child or congratulates them, says, you're doing a great job, and gives them lots of affection. And other times, in the same loving mood, he, swats the hand. No, don't do that. So the correct response to this is to accept all of that as the mercy of the Lord, that we don't, say, oh, I'm only praising God when, when I'm being blessed, when I'm getting all the good things that I want. So next text. Bewildered by the modes of material nature, the ignorant fully engage themselves in material activities and become attached, but the wise should not unsettle them, although these duties are inferior due to the performer's lack of knowledge. Purport. Persons who are unknowledgeable falsely identify with gross material consciousness and are full of material designations. This body is a gift of the material nature, and one who is too much attached to the bodily consciousness is called mundan, or a lazy person without understanding of spirit soul. Ignorant men think of the body as the self, bodily connections with others are accepted as kinship, the land in which the body is obtained is the object of worship, and the formalities of religious rituals are considered ends in themselves. Social work, nationalism, and altruism are some of the activities for such materially designated persons. Under the spell of such designations, they are always busy in the material field. For them, such spiritual realization is a myth, and so they're not interested. Such bewildered persons may even be engaged in such primary moral principles of life as nonviolence and similar material benevolent work. Those who are, however, enlightened in spiritual life should not try to agitate such materially engrossed persons. Better to prosecute one's own spiritual activities silently. Men who are ignorant cannot appreciate activities in Krishna consciousness, and therefore Lord Krishna advises us not to disturb them and simply waste valuable time. But the devotees of the Lord are more kind than the Lord because they understand the purpose of the Lord. Consequently, they undertake all kinds of risks, even to the point of approaching ignorant men to try to engage them in the acts of Krishna consciousness, which are absolutely necessary for the human being. I was hearing something where Prabhupada was saying that Bhaktisiddhanta would tell his preachers that when they would go out and they'd come back and he'd ask, were there a lot of people there? And he'd say, oh, there's 3 or 4. Say, that's good. He'd say, even if there were no people, you can just preach to the walls. So Prabhupada was saying this Krishna consciousness is not cheap. That we have the highest thing, and like a diamond salesman who goes out and the right person who's just been looking for this thing just for so long, and as soon as he sees it, he's ready to give up all his possessions, sell everything, whatever it needs, whatever the cost is, he wants to obtain that. It is compared to that. And the last part of this purport, the devotees of the Lord are more kind than the Lord because they understand the purpose of the Lord. Consequently, they undertake all kinds of risks, even to the point of approaching ignorant men to try to engage them in acts of Krishna consciousness, which are absolutely necessary for the human being. So this is the mood of the devotees, especially following Chaitanya Nityananda, that they approach all kinds of people on the street that are, mocking them or going out of their way to ignore them as they walk by. We wave at them and we're friendly, and this process is so easy that even if they smile at a devotee, they're benefited. Even if they, just ask a quick question, what's that line on your head? And tell them about tilak. All these tiny things they're benefited by. So it's so easy for us to do so much for them. And our book distributors, service that I'm not quite so good at, they approach people and they get rejected again and again and again, and they keep going, extremely enthusiastic. This is the mood that we go to every town and village and keep going until Krishna consciousness is everywhere. So we can go to the next verse, text 30. Therefore, O Arjuna, surrendering all your works unto me, with mind intent on me, and without desire for gain, and free from egoism and lethargy, fight. Purport. This verse clearly indicates the purpose of the Bhagavad Gita. The Lord instructs that one has to become fully Krishna conscious to discharge duties as if in military discipline. Such an injunction may make things a little difficult. Nevertheless, duties must be carried out with dependence on Krishna, because that is the constitutional position of the living entity. The living entity cannot be happy independent of the cooperation of the Supreme Lord, because the eternal constitutional position of the living entity is to become subordinate to the desires of the Lord. Arjuna was therefore ordered by Sri Krishna to fight as if the Lord were his military commander. One has to sacrifice everything for the goodwill of the Supreme Lord, and at the same time discharge prescribed duties without claiming proprietorship. Arjuna did not have to consider the order of the Lord, he had only to execute his order. The Supreme Lord is the soul of all souls, therefore one who depends solely and wholly on the Supreme Soul without personal consideration, or in other words, one who's fully Krishna conscious, is called Adhyatma Chetasa. Nirashihi means that one has to act on the order of the master, nor should one ever expect fruitive results. The cashier may count millions of dollars for his employer, but he does not claim a cent for himself. Similarly, one has to realize that nothing in the world belongs to any individual person, but that everything belongs to the Supreme Lord, as the real purport of Maya, or unto me. And when one acts in such Krishna consciousness, certainly he does not claim proprietorship over anything. This consciousness is called nirmama, or nothing is mine. And if there's any reluctance to execute such a stern order, which is without consideration of so-called kinsmen in the bodily relationship, that reluctance should be thrown off. In this way, one may become vigata jvara, or without feverish mentality or lethargy. Everyone, according to his quality and position, has a particular type of work to discharge, and all such duties may be discharged in Krishna consciousness, as described above. That will lead to the path of liberation. So one has to sacrifice everything for the goodwill of the Supreme Lord, because he's the owner. When we rent something, just in everyday life, you pay some amount of money to somebody so that whatever, 1 month, 6 months, a year at a time, you can say, okay, for this time I own this. And even then there's some restrictions, and you must pay some money, and you have a contract. So the idea of renting doesn't even come close to what we have with God, that he owns the whole thing. He's not only the owner, but he's the only reason why any of it's happening. So if we want to get better at distributing books or giving class, the best thing we're told to do is to pray, because it's all in his hands ultimately anyways. And we shouldn't be attached to the success of these things, but should just want to do them. In the last purport it said that we're to just silently carry out our duties without being disturbed by other things. And it says here, without consideration of so-called kinsmen in the bodily relationship. So, for so many people, at the end of life, if one's married, one's supposed to take up vanaprastha, and our family connections, we've gone through so many bodies where we have different family connections each time. And somebody who was my family member last life might be my enemy this life. But if I have real attachment to these people in this short, even if we live to be 100 years, that's a blink of an eye compared to eternity. So if I really love these people, then the best thing to do is to become Krishna conscious and to try to get them to be Krishna conscious, so that I can be in a place where we have a more permanent existence. We're permanent either way, but we don't realize in this place that we are permanent because we're constantly changing body. One of the things I liked very much that Prabhupada was pointing out one time, I think we were just talking about this the other day, but I think it was in a morning walk. He points to the bird droppings and says, "What's this?" And I don't know. And then he says even the birds, they are very attached to their apartments. So all these uh, all these species, 8,400,000, and we're all attached to these things that they're going to go away tomorrow. If not, some of these living entities, they live for an hour or 2 hours. So then I live maybe maximum 100 years, or in this time period, maybe 90, whatever. And then, even for Brahma or someone who's living, I'm not so good with the math, but, millions, trillion, whatever it is, years, it's all temporary. It's all just going to be gone tomorrow. So to be going after any kind of material objects here, people are just, we hear of some people that are specifically called hoarders, but that's basically all of us. One person's acquiring cars, one person wants women, one person wants wealth, and it's all the same. And he says later at the very end of this, what is the It says, Arjuna said, O descendant of Vrishni, by what is one impelled to sinful acts, even unwillingly, as if engaged by force? And the response is, the Blessed Lord said, it is lust only, Arjuna, which is born of contact with the material modes of passion and later transformed into wrath, and which is the all-devouring sinful enemy of this world. So we have lust for material objects. The highest of that is obviously sex desire. And this is like my understanding of it is that this is the perverted form, since everything in this material world is like a reflection of the spiritual world. Krishna is, he has however many, 16,108, I believe, wives. And Prabhupada says, not that we should think, that this is some feat for him. He only has 16,108 wives. He could have 16 million as far as we're concerned. He's the owner of everything, and everything is just his energy or his expansion. So since this is a perverted reflection, it is somewhat natural that we, in our unnatural state, we try to enjoy like the Lord, and whereas we enjoy for just dead matter, Krishna, he's not covered over by anything material, so he's looking for love, for a reciprocation, for a relationship. Whereas I say, oh yeah, I want to settle down, find a good girl, be in a loving relationship, and really what I want is, to satisfy my lust. I say, oh yeah, I want to buy this car. My car is working just fine, but this car is really nice. I'll make all these excuses just to satisfy that desire. And then as soon as I get it, oh, it's not so interesting because I own it now. And now I'm looking to the next thing. So this is the material world, is that we're scratching an itch. And when you scratch an itch, it just gets worse and worse and worse and worse. And the best thing you can do is just to stop. But it's really hard to stop unless you have something of a higher taste to replace that thing with. So just like the child wants to play with his toy, and if it's something that's harmful to him, the best thing to do is replace it with something that's not going to harm him in any way. And this last verse is, as fire is covered by smoke, as a mirror is covered by dust, or as the embryo is covered by the womb, similarly the living entity is covered by different degrees of this lust. Does anybody have any comments they'd like to make? Okay. Well,
In one of the purports, Prabhupada mentioned that the devotees are more kind than the Lord because they take risks. Well, His Holiness Danavir Maharaj has produced the Vaishnav Society Volume 17. And in this one, there's a variety of devotees who left their bodies. And Maharaj and the whole devotee community is anxious to glorify these devotees. So one of them is an Ananta Shanti, who was the first Russian devotee, and the only Russian devotee to be initiated by Srila Prabhupada. So he took great risks and was imprisoned in psychiatric hospitals, were like torture chambers. They called them special psychiatric hospitals. Means it was especially torture, the types of drugs that they gave him. It caused him to hallucinate, and you're always moving. You can never get comfortable. He said, the only peace I ever got was if I could sleep at night. And he was in there for years. And I remember back in the 80s, whenever there was a Russian delegation in town, wherever we were, we would go and chant and protest, please release the devotees. And the Australian Prime Minister, he approached the president of Russia, whoever it was, at the time, and said, please release these Hare Krishna devotees. And remember that boy Prahlad? He started this song in '85, please release my friends, the Russian devotees. It became quite a popular song around the world. At any rate, the devotees have been taking risks for Krishna, and for that reason they're so dear. And Prabhupada's favorite examples are Prahlad and Jesus and Haridas Thakur. But in our movement we also have examples like Ananta Shastri or Bhakti Tirtha, or there's a boy named Sachi Sutta in Armenia, and there's a book written about him. He was like the Vishnu Janaswami of Armenia, because he was so enthusiastic. The KGB would come in during Mangalarti and beat everybody up. They'd all be bloodied and thrown in jail. And he hid or something, and he was just sitting there crying. All his friends are gone, they're beaten up. But he took so many risks, and he was also thrown in a special psychiatric hospital in Siberia. What they used to do is they used to take communist books from the library and then rip the covers off and use them to bind Bhagavatam in Russia. They did so many things in Armenia that the book was called Salted Bread, because when he was thrown in prison, he was given so little to eat. Even the inmates I deal with, you know what they're given every day? They're given some beans and some peanut butter 3 times a day. How would you like that? And they say that satisfies their nutritional requirements. So he was given some moldy black bread. And even though he was so thin, he would roll up the black bread into beads and set it on the window ledge so it would dry, and he would make japa beads out of salted bread. That's the name of the book. So he went through all kinds of excruciating torture in these places. But toward the end, it turns out he had tuberculosis, and he was going to be released next month. But he was chanting with his beads, and he had a friend in the prison who wasn't a devotee, but the friend liked him because he could see he was a wonderful person. And so Sachi Sutta was very humble, but today he said, he asked the friend for something. He said, please bring me some colored paper. So he did that, and then Sachi Sutta made this makeshift garland for himself. And he was sitting in the lotus position chanting. And the other fellow was there for a while, and he took off, and he came back, and he was talking to Sachi Sutta, who appeared to be in deep meditation, but he kept talking to him, and he realized that he'd left his body, sitting in a lotus chanting japa with a flower garden. So I just read the other day, Prabhupada said, for death for a devotee, a serious devotee like Sachi Sutta, or these host of other devotees that are mentioned in this book, many of whom were known and loved by Dhanavir Maharaj. For them, death is you fall asleep and you wake up and Krishna says, welcome to Goloka, come and join the festival. So what's there to fear in that case? These stories are very inspirational. They're jewels that Prabhupada created. Prabhupada can create successive generations of jewels, not just disciples, but grand disciples, followers, who are very special, who are very serious. It's very rare to find, Krishna says in the 7th chapter, text 3, it's so rare to find someone serious about giving up their rebellious spirit. Everybody, as I said, is in full rebellion against the Supreme Lord. As Prabhupada said in the purport, these fellows running up and down the street here, they think they see us in these robes and they consider our spirituality to be a myth. We're just imagining there's a little man in the sky and he's going to protect us and we're going to go to heaven. And that's our little psychological trip so that we don't go crazy in this miserable world. But Prabhupada said, they say we are crazy, and we say you are crazy. And Prabhupada said, and we are right. So we admire these devotees who take risks. Sometimes I have to go into prisons, and anything could happen, but it's not really that dangerous. Maybe sometimes. Actually, sometimes the devotees have had some problems when they go to prisons. But these days we don't go so much because of COVID. They have restrictions. But if we ever have to take risks, Krishna so much appreciates. We admire these devotees who took risks on Prabhupada's behalf. So I just wanted to remember them. Because Maharaj wants us to remember these devotees. That's why he put out these publications. These devotees should be honored by our remembrance, just like we honor the acharyas, right? On their disappearance day or appearance day. So we should remember these great jewels and saints that Srila Prabhupada created. Mahapatita Pavanadev Srila Prabhupada Ki.